The second newest reproduction metal fight Beyblade I will be covering is Jade Jupiter S130RB. Thanks to Bricks for sending me copies to review. I'll attach a link to buy them in the description. So the Jade wheel is a very rare case of a 4D system wheel being legal in Metal Fight Limited. The reason for that is because it's frankly not really good for its time, even in Metal Fight Limited. With a scaled back power creep, Jade really only shines in niche defense setups, thanks to its weight and wheel sloping. S130 is a pretty good mid-height choice, but it's usually outshined by CH120 due to its greater versatility. Rubber ball is a part that I discussed at length in a previous video that you can watch here. The REPRO rubber ball is a bit taller, probably a little bit better grip, but also noticeably less stamina. More on that later. I will note that the rubber ball that I got is not just taller, but a little bit off. It was like two semicircles that were imperfectly lined up and fused, whereas the original rubber ball is perfectly circular. Just like with Duo, there's a weight disparity between the original TT and Hasbro and the reproductions. In this case, each of the Repro Jade wheel's components is about a gram or so lighter than the original, coming out to around 37 grams total. Given the weight difference, I wanted to see how this may affect Jade's ability to be a low track defensive powerhouse still. To measure this, I put it up against a favorable matchup, mid-height attack, namely Screw CH120 RF. Here's how that went. And then I compared it to the Hasbro metal wheel. Next, I tried the new rubber ball. Its stamina seems to take a huge hit compared to the original rubber ball in solo spin time tests, upwards of 30 seconds shorter lived pre-recording. But with that said, its applications are also not really stamina oriented. I think its height, decent grip, and very docile nature when compared to the original make it a better defense tip overall. And this is especially true on stuff like 230, where the extra bit of height could make all the difference. Whereas the original was kind of an awkward semi-defensive, semi-aggressive tip that varied from person to person, from wear state to wear state, and from individual copy to copy. It seems like the REPRO is a bit more streamlined in its design goals as well as its performance, despite slightly deviating from the original. For the Jade blade itself, I think the reduced weight is a non-issue, but my only concern is that sometimes it seems a bit more prone to wobbling compared to the original. Apart from this, it's pretty fair to say the Repro Jade does a great job at emulating the original. Regarding RB, it is clear there are some differences in patterning, though overall performance is relatively unchanged. I referred to the Repro RB as being decent for 230 combos because of its better height and more docile patterning. I do think this holds true, though on low track options, the original RB boasting slightly more stamina could mean it scores wins that the Repro cannot. This is especially true when you're dealing with really big wall hits. Overall, this release was a long time coming, and while it is not perfect in a technical sense, it's definitely a must-buy for those that always wanted a Jade but found it to be too costly.